you guys, I thought I would come and do a car vlog because I am stuck in traffic and I've just left my neurology appointment. So there is a really long queue of traffic here and it's on all the back kind of country roads, so I think I'm going to be sat here for quite a while. But yeah, I thought I'd come and give you a migraine update because, like I said, I've just left my neurology appointment and this is the first time. This is so funny, I've been seeing this neurologist for 3 years because the other one retired just before lockdown, and this is the first time I've seen his face because it's the first time I've had an appointment where you haven't needed masks. So I've seen his full face and he's just so lovely. He's just such a lovely guy. I feel really lucky to have him. You know, I don't get to see him as often as I'd like. And he was so apologetic that my appointment had been changed because it was supposed to be in March, then it was changed to May, and then it was changed to now, July. Anyway, I went in hoping that I could get Emgality, which is another of the MAB injections, but that was what was our next plan, or his next plan. But he said there's now new research come out showing that if you have tried Aimovig and Adjuvant and they haven't worked, then Emgality is unlikely to work. It's just, it has the same kind of mechanism of action as Adjuvant actually, and so it's unlikely to work. And they've also changed the NHS policy to you only get 2 of the 3 injections, so that's fair enough. So that is kind of off the table. He'd given me a list of drugs, you may remember, that I could try in that kind of washout period or next, and honestly I'd looked at them and I didn't fancy any of them because they were all quite like increased appetite, weight gain, dizziness, tiredness, tremors, Parkinsonian syndrome, so basically tremors and walking problems like you get with Parkinson's. Like, there's some serious side effects. He was talking about them again there, you know, and it's like, yeah, I don't fancy any of those, to be honest with you. However, in the last 3 months things have actually improved a lot, and when I say they've improved, they've been improving for a while, I think, slightly. And when I say to my friends that I'm still having a migraine every day, they'll be like, well, how has it improved then if you're still having a migraine every day? Or pretty much every day. I get about 4 migraine-free days a month. So 1 day a week maybe. Oh yeah, I was saying things have improved, but I'm still having a migraine every day. So I remember when I went to see this prof, he is a professor, last November, I was really down about the whole migraine thing. And I remember I was having them every day, having migraines every day, severe most days, and I was having them from like pretty much when I woke up until maybe after dinner, and sometimes till bedtime, and sometimes I'd wake up in the night with them, you know, so I was having them like almost 24/7. But what's happened now, where I'm at now, is I, not always, but I often get the morning. And this used to be the case. If you've been following me for years, you'll remember migraine updates where I'm saying to you guys, it's not too bad because I get like a few hours in the morning. It never used to come on till like 11, 12 o'clock. And then it'd be gone by sort of after dinner. And so it would only be like the afternoon portion of the day that I had it. And it seems to be going back to that. So not always, sometimes it comes on like about 9, 10 o'clock, but it's normally, I can get till about 11 o'clock before it comes on, and then it goes away again after dinner. So that's one improvement. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it really is because I get a few hours in the day. But the addition in the last 3 months has been that I have not had so many in the severe column and more in the moderate column. And I was so pleased that he understood the moderate column, because I was saying to him, because he noticed that immediately. He went, oh, you've had less severe headaches, that's good. And he said, is it like the moderate? He described it as being able to drag yourself around, and severe is you can't do anything. And I was like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. When it's moderate, I can have a shower, I can make the dinner, I can take Watson for a walk, I can do all of those things. I'm not enjoying doing them. I'm not 100% participating in life. You know, I am just doing it because it needs to be done. But when it's severe, I can literally barely function. I have to wait until it gets to a moderate level before I can like drag myself to the shower or whatever. So there's a lot less severe days, a lot more moderate days. There was only, I think, 7 severe days in the last month. The rest were moderate, and when they were moderate, it was between like lunchtime and early evening. So why is that? That's the big question, isn't it? What's actually working? And what correlated with that actually was an increase in amitriptyline. So I'm on amitriptyline. I've been on amitriptyline for 20 years now, so a long time, for my bladder condition, which is, what's it called? Painful bladder syndrome, interstitial cystitis. I've been on amitriptyline for a long time. I started off on 10 milligrams and over the years have increased from 10 to 20, from 20 to 25, from 25 to 40. And that's what I've been on. I've been on 40 milligrams for quite a few years actually. But I was still having the problems with running to the loo at night. Do you remember I told you that? Probably told you that in the HRT videos, because it's part of like menopause and hormone imbalance and whatnot. And so I had spoken to somebody about that, and they had said I could increase my amitriptyline to 60 milligrams if I wanted. So I didn't go to the 60 milligrams, I went to 50 milligrams, from 40 to 50 milligrams. And because I know that it makes you drowsy, so I already on 40 milligrams, and having been on it that long, it still sends me to bed at like somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock. I can't keep my eyes open sometimes later than 9 o'clock. So I increased it to 50 milligrams. And since then, I have been struggling to keep my eyes open past 8 o'clock. Which is kind of understandable, but I did think it would have died down by now, and I think it is starting to die down now, because it's 3 months I've been on this increased amount. But it does correlate with the less severe migraines. And so what this prof was telling me was it's found to help migraines at 75 milligrams. So he's going to write a letter to my GP saying that I can take it up to 75 milligrams, and that is a good dose for migraines. It's been proven for migraines. He's quite positive that it could be that's helping, but he's also, like me, convinced that my hormones are playing a part, and that in another year things might be better, simply because if everything crashes. But he's also a bit worried because I said to him, I mean, he's so nice, like we have such a laugh, you know, and I said to him, imagine if you've been trying to treat me all these years and it was just hormones, it was just like the menopause and there's nothing you could have done to treat it, you know. And he said, oh, I wouldn't mind, I'd just be delighted if you didn't have migraines anymore. And he said, but my slight concern is, he said, it's in thirds. So he said that a third of women have migraines in their life and they stop after the menopause. A third of women, their migraines get worse after the menopause. So a third get better after the menopause, a third get worse after the menopause, and a third of women get their first migraine ever after the menopause. So with that, he said you would get HRT, but for me, HRT made my migraines worse. So that's not currently an option, but at least if that did happen post-menopause, I could try HRT again, you know. So it could be menopause, and we're just waiting for, you know, the hormones to crash and seeing if it affects things, which way things go. And I'm pretty optimistic that things will get better, because I feel like that might be what's happening. But for now, I'm going to try an increase in amitriptyline, and I'm not going to go straight up to the 75. I've been on 50 for 3 months. I'm going to go up to 60 and see how I get on with that. I could try nortriptyline, which is it's the same kind of drug, and actually the GPs prefer nortriptyline, as do most people, because it's not quite as sedating. However, it's not got as much evidence behind it for migraine. So he says, you know, stick with amitriptyline if you can. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to continue trying with the amitriptyline. He's not that, I was telling him about the vagus eye exercises for the vagus nerve. He said there's not much evidence behind it. He's not a big believer in it, but he said, you know, anything will help. He is a believer in ice therapy, so like a cold cap, putting your hands in iced water and all that, which I've been doing, and that does help with as a treatment rather than prevention, you know. And the other thing is he wants me to try another triptan, because so I've tried sumatriptan, I've tried rizatriptan, and I've tried one other one, I think. But there's this new drug called rimegepant, I think. Rimegepant. It's the one that Khloe Kardashian takes. And he was saying that it's not out yet, it's not available in Edinburgh yet, or in Scotland yet. But that if when it does become available, like it's in the process of being available as a treatment, not as a prevention, but as a treatment, you can only get it if you've tried 4 other triptans. So I need to have gone through that list of triptans before I could ever even get it. So he says it's worthwhile you trying them now as a treatment rather than wait until this other one is available and then not being able to get it because I haven't tried the 4 other triptans, you know. And you know, any other triptan would be helpful. I can't remember the name of the one he suggested because there's so many. There's, like I said, I think I've tried rizatriptan and sumatriptan. I think I wanted to try zelmatriptan, but it wasn't available or something. And there's another one called elatriptan. Like I said, there's so many, it's so confusing. But so that's the plan. And actually, I'm okay with it. You know, I was saying to him last year, I was quite depressed about it all because I didn't really have. I mean, I'm better because I've got tramadol. You know, it's good that I've got tramadol. And I know I could only take it like for not even half the week, but I can take it 3 days a week. And I know that I've got that, you know, I know that if I've got an important event or something I really want to enjoy, I can actually use the tramadol for that. And he's happy with that. He says, you know, as long as you don't use it for more than 15 days a month, you'll be fine. I have a lot of people say to me, just take it every day. Why can't you just take it every day? But I know from taking it every day for just a week when I'm on holiday, or a little bit longer than that actually. This last holiday we were off for 2 weeks. I didn't take it straight every day for the 2 weeks, but I took it, say, probably for about 9 days every day. And even then it stops working. And it takes a while to clear out of your system before it starts working to full capacity again, you know. And that's his point. It's like, you don't want breakthrough migraines, or I can't remember what you call them, medication overuse headaches, whereby you get a headache because you're not taking a certain drug, but you also don't want it to lose its efficacy, and that's what will happen. He says, and then there's no end to it because you'd have to increase to 2 and then increase to 3 and then increase to 4, and then what? Because then you're at the highest level, you know. So that's not really an avenue I want to go down. But I'm glad I've got the tramadol. But I've also got these other things that I'm doing, like I'm still using that Curable app. I don't use it as much as I should. I should make more time for it, and that's like on the theory that you can change your mind to not experience pain in the same way, and that you can sort of rewire your brain. And the cold cap, and you know, I've got a few things that I can do now. And this amitriptyline, I'm quite happy with that because I know the drug. You know, I've been on it, like I said, 20 years. It's a drug that I know. It's a drug that works for me. It works for my bladder pain. It works for my insomnia. Like, I never slept. I wouldn't sleep without amitriptyline, and so that's a really good thing, you know, especially in the kind of hormone imbalance period that I'm in. The other thing is, I said to him, you know, I might well consider a hysterectomy, because he was talking about the whole menopause thing and whether I'd tried HRT again, because that may well, it could end up making it really worse, but it could end up making it better if I had a hysterectomy. But that'd be quite a long process, because I do keep on having these heavy bleeding things, so I need to take the tablets to stop it. But I'm always hesitant to go back to the GP because I've been 3 times and they always send me for a biopsy, and I know that's the best thing, but it is really painful and nothing ever comes of it. And it's like, are you going to just, every time this happens, which is every 3 to 6 months, just keep sending me for a biopsy? There'll be nothing left in my womb, you might as well take it out, you know. And the only thing is that I'm going under anaesthetic, which obviously I'd prefer not to, but it's something there in the back of my mind. And I'm almost like I've just been through another period of it went on for about 2 weeks, but I had some tranexamic acid left from the last time it had happened, so I took them to stop it, of heavy bleeding, which is really, you know, it's no fun for anybody. It's really inconvenient and it's painful, and yeah, it's just, I was so gutted as well, because I was like, I want to go a year without them so that I know that that's me fully menopausal, and then I can see, is that affecting the migraines or not, you know. And actually they were worse in the time where I was bleeding, so it could well have affected it. So that's where I'm at. Like I said, I feel quite positive about it all, way more positive than I did last year, and I think that's because I've got my potential solutions. I've got the tramadol, which I seem to be getting quite easily. I just need to fill in a form. You know, it's not on repeat, but it's kind of on repeat. I just have to fill in this form and request it, and they always just send it to the chemist for me, so it's not like I have to go in and see the doctor every time and argue it. So I'll get it every 6 weeks, you know, and so that makes me feel calmer, you know. I know that I can get access to it and I don't have to fight for it. I've also got diazepam. I get that about every 4 months. I don't use that as much as tramadol, but that I can use that on any of the other days. So I think I can probably use 1 a week, so I can take so I've got 4 days a week where I'm not going to be struggling as much. And yeah, I've got the hope in this amitriptyline, even though I might be sleeping for a lot of the time. But you know, if it is that's helped, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? You know, if I just upped it to 60 milligrams and it got even better, and then I've got up to 75 milligrams to get to. So yeah, I'm chuffed. I did some shopping before I went to see the neurologist, and I went to Hobbycraft and bought these. I'll just show you, being as I'm sitting here. This is a smart iron-on heat transfer, and this is infusible ink. So they're both for t-shirts, but I bought 2 because the infusible ink I love, but I didn't realise until using it that you have to put it on non-cotton t-shirts. So I've put it on a really nice, actually it's a top like this, but that's in white. It looks really beautiful, lovely heart, and it just washed right off. I put it in the wash and it washed off because this is cotton, you know. And it's really quite hard to find a t-shirt that isn't high cotton percentage. So I finally found some on Amazon that are like 50% cotton and 50% elastane, I think. So I'm going to try them on that. But for the white one of these, where it had the heart, there's a tiny bit you can see, but it's all faded. So I'm going to use, I think, this colour, which is translucent blue. It actually looks purple, doesn't it, there, over the top of it. And so, you know, you can use the iron-on here, you just can't use the infusible ink. And the other stuff I bought is, well, I'm not going to get it all out and show you because I am going to do a haul, but I bought a whole bunch of stuff from Rimmel, and thankfully they had offers on. I think it was like buy one get one half price or something like that. Excuse me, I'm going to unwrap a locket so I can have that because I've got a sore throat. I'm just having a look to see if it is actually an infection. Yeah, there's one white spot left. I get tonsillitis, I've had it for years. Yeah, I got loads of stuff from Rimmel because they're now cruelty-free, and actually it said vegan on a few of them, so I don't know whether it's all vegan or not, but I can't believe that they're cruelty-free. I'm so happy because I'd love it if like L'Oreal or Maybelline or Max Factor or any of those became cruelty-free. I would go straight and do a haul like I have done now. Well, I'd have to wait until payday now, but you know, I've bought a bunch of stuff from Rimmel. One, I bought the long-lasting lipsticks. I used to love them. I used to use the Maybelline one, and I think it might have been a Max Factor one, or maybe a L'Oreal one. You know, where one end's a liquid lipstick and the other end is like a gloss to put on top. That it's normally like more like a lip balm, so I'm excited about that. I've got a couple of mascaras. I got a foundation. I wanted to get a concealer, but they didn't have. Oh, you know, I should have checked in Superdrug. Oh, I can check in Superdrug on my way home. I might do that. See if they've got the right colour for me. And what else did I get? Did I get an eyeliner, a micro felt tip eyeliner, and some eyeshadows. This sort of liquid eyeshadow or cream to powder eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm quite excited about trying all that. And like I said, I will come and do a haul as soon as I can. My Watson is going in for surgery tomorrow, so I'm just dreading tomorrow. Kev's going to take him in and drop him off, because I will be too anxious, and Watson will pick up on that. So we try for it to be Kev if he can. Kev can't go and pick him up. That's okay. I like to pick him up anyway. So he's got these 2 styes on his eye, or warts on his eyelid, and they're always causing infections in his eyes, but we've never wanted to put him under the knife just to have them removed because they don't seem to bother him as far as we can tell. Like he's not always rubbing his eyes or anything like that. But he then got that lump on his back. He's had it a long time, but it became infected. It is a tumour, but it's not a cancerous tumour. And they need to remove it because we've tried every single antibiotic, even like horrible ones that have horrible side effects that thankfully he didn't have. Like seizures are a possible side effect, but like I said, thankfully he didn't have that as a side effect. But it didn't work. It's still infected, so he needs to have it removed because it could go into his organs. It could, you know, cause him to go septic and die. Like, it's really serious. But I'm just gutted that he needs to have surgery because we had already said, Kev and I had already said, you know, if ever he got another mast cell tumour, which is the one that he's had, he's now had 3 major surgeries where he's had to have margins, you know, a big area cut out to make sure there was no tumour left, and we don't want him to go through that again. It's horrific, you know, he was screaming in pain last time. And there is a new treatment for mast cells. It's like an injectable treatment that goes directly to the lump and sort of dissolves it, but I never imagined we'd need him to have surgery for something else, you know, for just like a little infected lump. It's just, but like I said, we've tried everything, because they did want to do surgery earlier, and I was like, but is there anything else we can try? And it's like, well, there's these antibiotics that we can try. So I'm gutted, because he's gonna know when he goes to the vet and he's left there, he's gonna know what's happening, because he's had what, 3, 4, 6 surgeries there, I think 5 or 6 surgeries at that surgery. So, you know, he's gonna know that surgery is coming up, I would imagine, once he's left there, you know, and he'll be in a crate, which he doesn't do well in crates. They've told us he doesn't do well in crates, but you know, it's a big surgery and they've got their procedures, and so it's not like they've just got him to do and then we can come and pick him up. They have to wait, they have to go through and do all the surgeries and then contact all the people over the phone and say how it's gone, and then get them all to come round and take them all out for a pee, make sure that they can pee, make sure that they can walk, all of that. But I have said to them, I have sent them an email, because they send you a kind of pre-op thing saying, you know, I will be waiting by the phone. I will come and get him as soon as he's ready. Even if he's sleepy, I will come and get him. I will carry him, you know, whatever it takes. Please let me know as soon as I can come and get him. And I think last time I actually went down there before they even phoned, because it was getting so late, and I was like, I'm just going to go down there and just say, here I am, you just let me have him when he's ready, to kind of put a bit of pressure on. And like I said, I know that they've got plenty of others having an operation as well. I just realised you might be wobbling a bit here because I'm now out of that traffic jam. But yeah, I want my boy back as soon as possible, because I know that he'll be stressing out, and then it will be about healing. Now hopefully this it's only a small lump, and she said she is going to take margin. She has to take a 1 centimetre margin, so it's not as much as with the tumours. That was 3 centimetres, but also with the tumours it would have been 3 centimetres round and 3 centimetres deep, whereas this is just 1 centimetre round, because it's just in the top of his skin, so they don't have to go deep or anything. So it should be a superficial small wound. I don't know whether he'll have stitches in his eye where they're moving these 2 warts, removing the 2 warts. I'm hoping they're going to be dissolvable stitches, so that he can go back to his with his walker, and to see all his friends. You know, he loves playing with his friends, especially now it's cooled down a bit. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to love you and leave you. I just thought, like I said, I'd come and do a car vlog. I wish I could do it the other way around. I know that this is not as easy to watch being horizontal, but it just all you'd see is the steering wheel the other way around. So I hope you guys are all well, and I will speak to you again soon.